Oh, good morning, Anya. I can see your day didn't start off so well. Is everything all right?
Dzień dobry, Marto.
Good morning, Marta. Another
Kolejna
complaint
uwaga
from the
od rodziców.
parents, this time
razem
about
Kubie.
Kuba.
Nie
I
wiem,
don't
co
know what to
zrobić.
do anymore.
On jest
He's
inteligentny,
intelligent,
ale
but
na
every
każdej
single
lekcji to
lesson,
samo.
it's the same
Przerywanie,
thing.
gadanie,
Interrupting,
odwracanie się.
talking, fidgeting.
Mam wrażenie,
I
że
feel
on
like he's just
ignoruje moje
ignoring my
polecenia.
instructions. I understand, Anya. Working with a student with ADHD can be challenging. But remember, Kuba is struggling. It's not defiance.
Wiem,
I
ale
know,
czasem czuję
but
się
sometimes I
bezradna.
just feel helpless.
Upomina,
I remind him of the
przypominam
rules
zasady.
over and
Na
over,
chwilę
and it
jest
works
lepiej,
for a
a
moment,
potem wszystko
and then
wraca.
everything comes back.
Boję się,
I'm
że
afraid
dołączę
I'm
do lekcji.
disrupting the flow of the lesson. That's a natural feeling. And remember, you're not alone in this. Let's talk about what exactly happened. Maybe describe the last situation.
No więc
So, the
ostatnio
last time in
Kuba na
math class,
matematyce
Kuba
zdobył
did it
punkt.
again. It started with
Zaczęło się od
those
tych
cursed
nieszczęsnych
chips.
chrupek.
He took them
Wyciągnął
out
je
and
i
started
zaczął
crunching
chrupać,
like
jakby
nothing was
nic.
wrong. I told
Mówiłam
him
mu,
to
żeby
put
je
them
schował,
away,
ale on
but
kompletnie
he
nie
completely
zignorował.
ignored me.
Powiedział, że
He
ma
said
ADHD
he has
i że może
ADHD,
robić, co chce.
and that means he can do whatever he
A
wants.
potem
And then,
nie dość, że
not
on
only
sam
was he
przeszkadzał, to
disrupting the
jeszcze
lesson,
reszta klasy zaczęła
but the
się
rest of the
śmiać,
class
a
started
Jacek
laughing,
zaczął go
and Jacek
naśladować.
started copying him.
Czułam się taka
I felt so
sfrustrowana i
frustrated,
bezsilna.
so powerless. And when I tried
A
to
potem,
explain a
jak
new
próbowałam,
task,
tłumaczyć
he
nowe
started
zadanie,
talking to Basia,
no to zaczął gadać do Basi,
wiggling
wiercić
in
się
his
na krześle,
chair, dropping his
puszczać
pencil
ołówek i tak w
again
kółko.
and again and again.
A najgorsze
And
jest
the
to, że
worst
on
part
bardzo
is,
często nie słucha,
most
co
of the
do niego
time,
mówię. Ja mam
he just
wrażenie, że
doesn't
on
listen to
ściany.
me.
Ale
I
to
feel
nie są
like I'm
tylko
talking to a
pojedyncze
wall.
incydenty. To
But
jest
it's not
ciągły
just these
problem. On
isolated
notorycznie
incidents, it's
zapomina o
constant.
pracach domowych,
He forgets
gubi
his homework all the
zeszyty,
time,
w ogóle
loses
nie
his
potrafi się
notebooks,
zorganizować,
can't organize
a na
himself
lekcjach
at
ciągle
all.
przerywa,
During
wyrywa się do
lessons,
odpowiedzi,
he interrupts
nie czeka na swoją
constantly,
kolej.
shouts out answers, won't wait his turn.
Czasami mam wrażenie, że
Sometimes I
nawet
feel like I'm going to explode. I feel so
czuję się
frustrated,
taka
so helpless.
sfrustrowana i bezsilna. Boję
I'm
się, że
scared
przez
that
niego nie
because of
mogę
him,
uczyć
I can't
efektywnie
teach
reszty
the
klasy.
rest of the class properly.
Zastanawiam się
Sometimes I
czasem,
wonder
czy
if
ja
I'm
w
even
ogóle
cut
się
out for
nadaję do
this
tego
job.
zawodu.
Maybe I
Może
should
powinnam
just do
zmienić
something
pracę.
else.
A
And
potem
then I
mam
feel
wyrzuty
guilty
sumienia,
because
bo przecież
I know
wiem, że
Kuba
Kuba
needs help.
potrzebuje pomocy. Próbowałam
I think
słuchać
I've tried
wszystkiego.
everything. I've
Rozmawiałam
talked
z
to
nim,
him, gave him extra
dawałam
tasks,
dodatkowe zadania, upominałam
reminded
go,
him,
ale
but nothing
nic nie
works
działa na
long
dłuższą
term.
metę. Może
Maybe I
po
just
prostu
don't know
nie
how
wiem,
to
jak z nim
work with him.
pracować. A może
Or
to
maybe
wina
it's the
systemu,
system's fault.
który nie
Maybe
daje nam
we just don't get enough
wystarczającego
support. I don't even know anymore. I understand, Ania. What you're describing is a complex situation, but we can definitely find some effective strategies. For now, I'd like you to observe Kuba closely over the next few days and take notes on specific situations. Not just the negative ones, but also when he behaves positively, when he manages to focus, when he cooperates. Write down what you did, how you responded, what you said. I'd like us to have specific examples to talk about at our next meeting. That will help us spot patterns and see what's already working and what might need changing. What do you think?
Dobrze,
Okay,
spróbuję,
I'll try.
tylko nie wiem, czy
I
dam
just
radę
don't know if I can
wszystko
remember everything. Don't worry. Short notes right after class will be enough. Focus on the facts, what exactly Kuba did or said, and how you responded. That'll be valuable material for our next steps. And remember, you're not alone in this. All right, thank you.
Dziękuję.
See you next time.
Do zobaczenia.
See you. Oh, hi, Anya. Thank you for coming. How was your week observing Kuba's behavior? Were you able to take some notes?
Tak,
Yes,
starałam się
I
zapisywać
tried to
jak
write down as much
Nie
as I
zawsze
could.
było łatwo
It wasn't
w
always
lekcji,
easy
ale
in the middle of
mam
everything,
tutaj kilka
but I do have a few
konkretnych
specific
sytuacji.
situations here.
O, świetnie.
Oh, great. That's
To
very
bardzo
helpful.
pomocne. Widzę, że
I
masz
see
tu
you've noted
zarówno
both challenging
trudne
moments
momenty, jak i
and some
takie
positive
pozytywne.
ones. So maybe
Może
let's start
zacznijmy
with
od
what's
tego, co
been the
sprawia
most
ci największy
difficult for
problem.
you.
No więc w poniedziałek
Well, on
Kuba
Monday
na
during
historii
history, Kuba got up from his seat and started walking around the classroom, loudly commenting on what I was saying. When I asked him to stop, he said he had to move or he wouldn't be able to concentrate. I see. That's a typical symptom of hyperactivity in ADHD. In those situations, short movement breaks can be really helpful. For example, you can ask Kuba to wipe the board or hand out worksheets, but only at agreed moments during the lesson. And what about the commenting? That was really rude. For that, we can try using the stop, think, act technique. You can agree with Kuba on a signal, like raising your hand, that will remind him to pause and think before speaking. It's important that the signal is discreet and doesn't embarrass him. All right, I'll try that. And yesterday, during Polish, Kuba finished the task earlier than the rest and started distracting others, singing, poking classmates. In those situations, it's important to have an extra, engaging task ready for Kuba when he finishes early. It could be a more challenging exercise, an additional reading, something that catches his attention and keeps him busy. And what about the good behavior? On Tuesday, during art class, Kuba was really focused and creative when we were painting landscapes. Oh, that's wonderful. It's really important to reinforce those moments. Praise Kuba for his engagement and creativity. Tell him you appreciate his effort and talent. Positive reinforcement is key when working with children with ADHD. The thing is, I think I struggle with praising. I tend to focus on what's wrong. That's very common, but try to consciously shift your attention to what's going well. It builds a child's self-worth and motivates them to keep trying. And remember, consistency is also important. If we agree on rules, we need to stick to them. Consequences should be logical and related to the behavior. Ania, this is a process. Not everything will change right away. But what matters most is consistency and patience. You're a great teacher, and I believe we can help Kuba together. Most of all, remember how important it is to distinguish ADHD symptoms from deliberate rule breaking. That's exactly what I struggle with. Where is that line? ADHD symptoms include things like difficulty concentrating, impulsiveness, and hyperactivity. Deliberate rule breaking is when a student knowingly ignores the rules. With Kuba, it's probably a mix of both. So, what do you suggest? First, clear and specific rules. Visual aids, like a list of rules with pictures, can help him remember. And second, positive reinforcement. Praise Kuba for every small success, every good behavior. That builds his confidence and motivates him. And his impulsiveness? We can teach him self-control techniques, like the stop, think, act method we talked about, or using a discrete signal to remind him to focus. Short movement breaks too, like we discussed. That sounds reasonable. And what about consequences? How should I react when he misbehaves? The consequences need to be logical, related to the behavior, and known to the student. It's the privilege, rule, consequence system. And it's not about punishment. It's about learning responsibility. Thank you, Marta. Honestly, this conversation helped me so much. I'm really glad to hear that. Let's meet again soon and keep working together. See you, and thanks again. Oh, hi, Ania. How was your week? I can see you're in a much better mood today. Marta, it's so much better. The list of rules with pictures is working great. Kuba is more focused, and praising him for small achievements is really motivating him. That's wonderful. This just shows how important individual approach and consistency are.
Wiesz co?
You know what? The other
Ostatnio
day during
Kuba na
math,
matematyce
Kuba started getting
znowu
restless
zaczął się
again.
wiercić,
But instead of
ale
correcting
ja
him,
zamiast go
I asked
upominać,
him to stand up
poprosiłam,
and
żeby
collect the
wstał i
notebooks.
zebrał zeszyty od klasy. Zrobił to
He did it
sprawnie
quickly and
i
stayed
do
calm
końca
for the
lekcji
rest of the
siedział
lesson.
spokojnie.
You
Widzisz?
see, you
I
used his need for
wykorzystałaś jego
movement in a
potrzeby rytmu w
positive way.
pozytywny sposób. To jest
That's a great
świetny
example of
przykład
flexible
elastycznego
teaching.
podejścia.
No, oczywiście
Of course, there are
czasami
still
są
challenges,
trudności,
but
ale
now I know how to
ja teraz wiem,
respond.
jak reagować. Czuję się
I feel more
pewniejsza
confident
i
and more competent.
bardziej kompetentna. Dziękuję
Thank
ci za
you for your
wsparcie.
support.
Cieszę się,
I'm
że
really
mogłam
happy I could
pomóc.
help. Remember,
Pamiętaj,
supervision
że
is an
superwizja
ongoing
to proces
process.
ciągłego rozwoju. Jesteśmy po to,
We're
żeby
here to keep
wspólnie
looking
szukać
for the best
najlepszych
solutions
rozwiązań.
together.
Możemy się
We
spotkać
can
za
meet
jakiś
again
czas i
soon and talk
porozmawiać o
about
dalszym
further
postępie.
progress.
Wiesz co,
You
Marta,
know
ale
what, Marta?
ta superwizja
But this
to
supervision
dla
is
mnie
more than
coś
just a way to
więcej
deal
niż
with
tylko
Kuba.
sposób na radzenie sobie z Kubą.
It's really
Naprawdę
changed how
wpłynęło,
I
jak
approach my
podchodzę do
work
swojej
in
pracy.
general.
O, a w jaki sposób?
In what way?
No, wcześniej jak
Well,
pojawił się
before,
jakiś problem, to
Whenever a
zaczęłam się
problem
z tym
came
sama.
up, I felt alone with it.
Zastanawiałam się, co
I
robię
kept
źle,
thinking about what I
obwiniałam
was doing
siebie
wrong,
albo uczniów.
blaming myself or the
A teraz
students.
wiem, że
But
mogę
now I
przyjść do
know I can
ciebie,
come to you,
porozmawiać,
talk it
uzyskać
through,
wsparcie i
get
konkretne
support,
wskazówki, a
get
to
real
daje mi
advice,
naprawdę
and
ogromne
that gives me a
poczucie
huge
bezpieczeństwa.
sense of security.
To bardzo
It's so
ważne, żeby
important for a
nauczyciel czuł
teacher
się
to feel
wspierany.
supported.
Ale
But
to
it's
nie
not
tylko
just
to.
that.
No,
I've
nauczyłam
also
się też
learned so
wielu
many
konkretnych
practical
rzeczy.
things,
Na
like how to
przykład,
analyze student
jak
behavior to understand
analizować
what's
zachowanie
behind it,
ucznia, żeby zrozumieć jego przyczyny, jak
how to adjust
dostosowywać
teaching methods to
metody
different
nauczania
students,
do
or how to use
indywidualnych potrzeb
positive
uczniów,
reinforcement to build
albo
motivation.
jak stosować pozytywne wzmocnienia, żeby budować motywację.
Tak, i
Yes,
to są
and
bardzo
those are
cenne
truly valuable
umiejętności.
skills.
Bardzo.
Absolutely.
I
And
wiesz,
now I see my
ja teraz
students differently.
patrzę inaczej na moich uczniów.
I
Staram
try to
się
be
bardziej
more
być
understanding,
zrozumiała,
to put myself in their
bardziej wczuć się w
shoes.
ich sytuację. Czuję, że
I
jestem
feel
bardziej
like I'm more
cierpliwa.
patient,
A wiem,
and
że
I
to
know it's
przekłada
helping
się na
build
lepszą
better
relację z
relationships
nimi i na
and more
efektywniejszą
effective
pracę.
teaching.
To wspaniałe,
That's amazing,
Aniu.
Ania.
Widzę, że
I can really
bardzo się
see how much
zmieniłaś.
you've grown.
Tak.
Yes? And I
Za
owe
to ci
that to you.
dziękuję. Dzięki tobie
Thanks to you,
czuję się, że
I
jestem
feel like
lepszym
I'm a better
nauczycielem.
teacher now.
I wiem, że tą
And I
wiedzę,
know
którą
I'll use this
zdobyłam,
knowledge and these
umiejętności
skills in the
będę
future
wykorzystywać
with
w
every
przyszłości w
student,
pracy z każdym
not just the
uczniem i
ones with
nie tylko
challenges.
z tym, który ma trudności.
To jest
That's
właśnie
exactly what
cel
supervision is for, supporting your professional development long term.
Na dłuższą metę. O, a
Oh,
mam tutaj dla
and
ciebie
I've got
jeszcze
this
tę
book
książkę.
for you.
Może ci się
It
przydać.
might come in handy.
Dziękuję.
Thank you.
Na
I'll
pewno
definitely
przeczytam.
read it.
Świetnie. To co?
So then,
Miłego dnia.
have
Do
a great
zobaczenia.
day.
Do
See you
zobaczenia.
soon,
Dziękuję
and
jeszcze
thank you
raz.
again.